Hello, students and parents, and welcome to this virtual college fair of Mesa Public Schools. Just a couple reminders, your camera and microphone are turned off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. You can ask questions at any time using the Q&A button. There are no more sessions tonight currently. You're in the last one, so thank you for being here. But a recording will be available at strivescan.com/Greater Arizona. So without further ado, our first presenter is going to be University of Texas at Tyler.
Hey guys, my name is Jacob. I'm an admissions officer here at the University of Texas at Tyler. So I just really quickly want to share just a little bit about what we have to offer for you guys. So I am going to go ahead and share a little presentation. The first thing I want to highlight is just our academic excellence. And so there we go. So our personal focus on academics here at the University of Texas at Tyler, what that means to us is an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, as well as a average class size of under 26 students. Even though we're an institution of over 10,000 students, it still allows us to kind of really let you get to know your professors and have that one-on-one learning environment that we love so much. We also do a lot of hands-on learning. I was a student at the university. I did all 4 years of my undergrad there. And in my major, I was a psychology major. I got to do like mock therapy sessions and design my own research projects. If you're a nursing major, you get to work in our simulation hospital and go into clinicals. If you're an engineering major, you get to go into internships and like build all these crazy stuff. So you really get to kind of experience what it's going to be like in your industry. And there's not a lot of other schools here in Texas that offer that. So it's really, really a unique experience. Another item that really helped me when I was a student is our career success program. And what that is a program that is designed to help you be successful in your career. So each college has their own career success coach. So like there's one for psychology education, there is one for nursing, there is one for every college. So they are specifically there to help you be successful as possible. So they will help you write a resume, they will help you apply for jobs. That you can literally walk into their office and be like, is this appropriate that I can wear to an interview? So they really are there to help you. We have some amazing alumni, and I would not be standing here talking to you guys without the help of my career success coach. She really helped me out a lot and helped me apply for this job. So it really was super impactful to me personally. And it's a program you can use your first day as a freshman to even after you graduate, you can come back to Tyler and still get assistance with your career. Another part of UT Tyler I really want to highlight really quick is our community. We have over 150 clubs and organizations at the university. That's from all the academic organizations, pre-industry organizations, all the way to Greek life. We have, I believe, 8 sororities and fraternities on campus. We have a student-led newspaper that's been going since 1971. We have a student government association, but we also have some really fun clubs. We have a hammocking club. We have a hot tub club. We have chess. We have esports, all that good stuff. We also have all the major sports as well. So pretty much everything except football. We are Division II athletics. We also have a really big emphasis on community service. We are located in Tyler, Texas, which is about 2 hours east of Dallas and about 2 hours west of Shreveport. So we're right in the middle there. And we really love to give back to our community. So we do a lot of that community service through our student organizations. And like I said, we are located in Tyler, Texas. I like to call it a small, big city. I'm from the Dallas area. So Tyler is really awesome for us as it's big enough that we have all of the restaurants, the shopping, the amenities that we love. And it's a great college town, but it's small enough that the traffic isn't too bad and you're going to run into your professor at Walmart or something like that at some point during your career here at UT Tyler. So it's a really unique town for us. Some items I want to talk to you guys about, just talking about the numbers. If you guys are a freshman, so a senior in high school right now, you will be automatically admitted if you're in the top 25% of your class. Once you apply, if you're in the second, third, or fourth quartile, we just require a minimum 2.75 GPA. Our application is on goapplytexas.org, and it's a $60 application fee. Some scholarships that we can offer to freshmen. We have an honor scholar that's $10,000 a year that just requires a 3.75 high school GPA. Our Patriot Scholarship is a variable amount, $1,000 to $5,000 annually, 3.5 high school GPA, And then if you're in the top 25% of your class, you automatically get a $2,000 a year scholarship. All of these are renewable for up to 4 years. We also offer some other scholarships. So we have an honors program. We have talent-based scholarships. So that's things like choir, band, journalism, all that good stuff. We also offer athletic scholarships. Like I said, we are Division II athletics, so we can offer those athletic scholarships to you, returning student, and of course, need-based financial aid. One important thing to mention for you guys, as y'all would be considered out-of-state students, we actually offer a competitive scholarship waiver. So if you get a scholarship from the university that's over $1,000, which all of our admission scholarships are over $1,000, you also qualify for in-state tuition. So it takes a lot off of your tuition and fees bill. Speaking of which, our average tuition and fees are about $8,000 per year. That's just tuition and fees. Full cost, including everything, is about $16,000 per year. That includes like your tuition fees, room, board, books, gas, incidentals, all that good stuff. So we are relatively affordable. Just some important deadlines to keep in mind. If you are interested in attending the University of Texas at Tyler, October 1st is when the FAFSA opened, of course, so do make sure you fill that out and send it over to us. December 1st is a very important scholarship deadline, as well as March 1. May 1 is our confirmation deadline, so that's just the last day to confirm your attendance with us. And June 1st is the academic excellence application deadline. Your first step is always going to be to apply. Go to goapplytexas.org, send your official high school transcript, and complete your FAFSA. Once you're admitted, pay that confirmation fee, and then you'll register for your orientation and housing, as well as roommates and your meal plan. And the last thing I want to tell you guys is if you're at all interested in the university, follow our UT Tyler and UT Tyler admissions handles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I personally run our admissions page, so anytime anything's happening on campus, our admissions event, party deadlines are coming up, I'm going to let you guys know. So if y'all have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A. But thank you guys so much for listening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And up next, we have St. Edward's University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Minty. I'm an admission counselor and former student of St. Edward's. I'll go ahead and share my screen so I can show you my presentation. But St. Edward's is a private institution in Austin, Texas. We are about 15 minutes away from downtown, so great area to be in. Let's see, I'm trying to get my thing in full screen. There we go. This is our beautiful main building. It is the first thing that you're going to see when you come to campus. Super great view of Austin and just a really great place to be in general. So a little bit about our campus. We're a fairly smaller school, about 3,000 students, but you can see we have a very diverse population. Almost 60 other countries are represented on this campus, and it's just really great just, getting the vibes, listening to different languages being spoken around, and it's just a really great place to be in. We like to always add a cute fun fact. We love the greenery of our campus. We have over 4,000 trees, and one in particular called Soaring Oak is most commonly known to have the best Wi-Fi on campus. So if you're ever interested in, please feel free to join us, and we'll be happy to have you. So a little bit about Austin, if you all have never been, it's a great city. Tech industry is booming, very much so. Really great place to do a lot of entertainment. We just had Austin City Limits, and then South by Southwest is happening in the spring of next year. But really, Austin is just a great place of opportunity. I say regardless of whatever college you end up going to, if it were to be in Austin, it's just a really great place to start just because there's so many opportunities, a lot of job opportunities, and it's just a really great place to grow up in. We are a liberal arts community, and so what that means for us is just that whatever major you are going to be declaring, we want to make sure that you have a really well-rounded education. You're going to be an expert in many different areas of study, and so we want to make sure that you're going to be able to apply your skills into any different field you're going to do. I was a business student that ended up in the admission team, so how did that work? I used my marketing skills, my recruiting skills, communication, and so really just ensuring that I had that well-rounded education made me more comfortable and confident in pursuing this career. Some of our Holy Cross values really just mean that we want to ensure that everyone that's on campus wants to be part of a very diverse community. Although we do promote ourselves as a Catholic institution, you saw from earlier that we had over 30 other faith traditions represented on campus. So it really just shows that no matter who you are, no matter what your background is, you really do have a place here at St. Edward's. As you can see below, we have almost 70,000 hours of annual community service that is done through our students, and all of this is voluntary. And why do we note that? The environment that St. Edward's has really just embodies like wanting to help people and really grow within yourself. And so we really strive to make sure we have opportunities for students to pursue their religious practices, or if they just want to help out in the community in Austin in general, we want to make sure we give you those the time to do so. So for our residence life, we're changing up a little bit of our rules. For the fall 2022 incoming freshmen, you are going to be asked to live on campus for the first 2 years of your college career. And why do we do that? We just want to make sure that you're going to have a very much meaningful experience. There are going to be activities going on every day, at night, and we don't want you to lose those opportunities that from students that are going to be living on campus. One thing to highlight that I loved when I was working on campus and living on campus was the fact that there are no community bathrooms. When you're sharing a dorm with people, you're going to share with a bathroom with at most 3 people. So that's always really great, especially since we're still in COVID times. And so that's really nice. So, make your pick and you choose your roommate, choose your room, and eventually, you just live with people that you're comfortable with living with. So a little bit about our application process. There are 4 different ways to apply. St. Edward's does have our own application, but we truly don't have a preference. I started application reading today, actually, and so it's been really great seeing the different formats and different essays. So whatever you're most comfortable with, please feel free to use that format. If you do apply by December 1st, we do waive a $50 application fee. We do want to acknowledge that, you want to potentially go to St. Edward's. We want to make sure that we provide those opportunities for you. And as you can see here, if you do apply to St. Edward's, you are going to be automatically considered for academic scholarships. So please don't hesitate in doing so. And then lastly, we are test optional. Again, understanding that we want you to be confident in submitting your essay. And if you feel like your scores don't really show who you are as a student, please feel free to remove those, not add them on. It won't hinder your application at all. And so speaking of scholarships, you can see that up to $28,000 are given to students annually. That's just showing that we want to provide those resources for you to come to our school. As you can see here, our past incoming freshman class got over $30,000 per year in scholarship money. So please know that it is doable. We want to make sure it's okay and affordable for you to come to our campus. Our tuition right now is about $46,000, but as out-of-state students, you do already get awarded our Edwardian scholarship, and that's $5,000 off your scholarship. So really great way to start. And so if you're interested in applying, you can also use our calculator to kind of see how much it would cost to live on campus for you. And then lastly, something that we have implemented recently is our Hilltopper Connect website. And this is just a great way for students that don't live closer to St. Edward's to connect with students that are currently in programs you're interested in or clubs you're interested in. So if you're interested in an honors program, a specific org, please feel free to join this, and our students are going to be more than happy to reach out to you. But yeah, that is everything I have here. We have a couple of our websites listed below, but you're more than welcome to email us at the admit@stedwards.edu, and we'll be happy to answer your question.
Thank you. And we will now turn it over to Southwestern University.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Bob Baldwin. I'm the Director of Enrollment Operations at Southwestern University. So I'll be taking you through our little journey here this evening. I'm going to share my screen. So I do have a brief presentation here. Let me go ahead and get that started here, if I can get it started. All right. So Southwestern University, we are located just outside of Austin, Texas. We're in a town called Georgetown, which is part of suburban Austin. It's maybe about 20, 25 minutes away. So a little bit about Southwestern, you can kind of read the key facts there, but the thing to take away from this is that we are an intimately sized institution. We have 1,500 students. Our average class size is just going to be about 15 or 16 students. And the other thing that we're really, really proud of is we were actually the first institution of higher education in Texas. We say Texas, not the state of Texas, because we actually were a school before Texas was a state in 1845. So we're really, really happy and proud of that tradition and legacy that we have. So what this means is you're going to have a really intimate experience, a really individualized, customized education. So a little bit about Georgetown. As I mentioned, we are just outside of Austin, but Georgetown is a wonderful city unto itself. It is one of the fastest growing cities in the country. It has one of the most beautiful town squares in the country, the most beautiful town square in Texas. It's within walking distance of our campus. Plenty of wonderful outdoor recreation, such as Blue Hole, which you're seeing on the screen now, as well as hiking and biking trails. And we're close enough to Austin where our students can have internships and jobs there, and have all of the advantages of the cultural life of Austin, but still being in a safe, quiet, small town as well. All right, so a little bit about our curriculum. So we are a liberal arts and sciences college, which means that we really want to make sure that we are not filling your head with facts, but rather training your mind how to think. And so really what our curriculum emphasizes is you are going to go very deep into one area in your major, but you're also going to go really, really broad in our general education and electives. And about a third of your curriculum is completely open. It's whatever you want to make it. And so we've really devised this curriculum because we want to emphasize student choice and agency. We want you to be an active participant in your own education rather than just sort of checking off the boxes. The other thing is that we really emphasize making connections. We want to make sure that you're not just studying this and this and this, but you're actually finding interesting connections between those, as well as connections to what you're doing outside of the classroom and your campus life, as well as outside of the campus. So high impact learning experiences, this is really, really huge at Southwestern. We want to make sure that you're applying the knowledge outside in the real world, as well as taking those real world experiences and funneling them back into the classroom. So you can kind of look at the statistics there, but the one that I like to point out is 100%. All of our students are required to do a significant piece of individual research before they graduate. So they're doing an intensive project, one-on-one with a professor, designing an experiment or a paper or a research project, and then presenting it and defending it. It's wonderful preparation for graduate school as well as for a first job. But of course, studying abroad is really big. We have internships all over the world. We have our own program in London as well. So some really great opportunities to connect your learning to the outside world. We are a residential community. We do require our students to live on campus for their first 2 years. Almost all of our third and fourth year students also reside on campus. And so we want to make sure that your learning doesn't stop when you set foot outside of the classroom. We want to make sure that that learning and that engagement really continues. So we have over 100 plus different student organizations. We also have some wonderful Division III athletic programs, fine arts programs, national fraternities and sororities, cultural affinity groups. You name it, we have it. And what I love about Southwestern is that students don't just find their one niche. You find students who are involved in so many different things. A football player who also plays the cello, writes poetry, and does community service work. So we're really big in celebrating sort of students with those types of eclectic interests. So you can kind of read on your screen the statistics about who we are as an institution. The one that I really like to point out is that just under half of our students are from racial and ethnic groups that are historically underrepresented in higher education. So that sense of cultural diversity, social justice, it's a really big part of our community. We actually do have a social justice requirement in our curriculum. So there are 4 different ways to apply. We have our own application. We're on Apply Texas, Common App, Coalition. The big thing to know is that all of our applications are free. We never charge an application fee for any student for any reason at any time. We also have a binding early decision round if that is your jam. If not, we have a non-binding early action round that is coming up in December. And of course, regular decision is just fine as well. So what do we require? Well, we say we were test optional before it was cool. So we have had a test optional policy since 2019. So that means you're going to make a choice. You're either going to send us SAT or ACT scores, or you're going to choose to engage with us in a really fun interactive interview with a member of the admission staff so we can delve a little bit more deeply into your application, get to know you a little bit more, and then of course, the other items that you see. Our tuition and fees are here. I know I need to wrap up, so I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. Please note that we do consider you automatically for merit-based scholarships when we review your application, and those are listed right on there. And the other thing that we like to say lastly is that we are nationally ranked with our career services. We have Princeton Review ranked us as having the third best career center in the whole United States across all universities, big and small. Over 90% of our students are either in graduate school or employed in their field within 6 to 9 months of graduation. So thank you so much. That's Southwestern University. If you are interested, you are welcome to scan the QR code on your screen and share your information with us. And I look forward to engaging with you later in the chat. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you, Bob. And up next, we have Texas State University.
Fantastic. I will get my slideshow up there and going. My name is Keegan Duncan, and I am a regional admission manager for Texas State University. This is going to be my contact information there, so that if you do have any questions after tonight's presentation, you can always reach out and feel free to let me know. Also with me tonight, I do have Mrs. Kelly Tallering. She's going to be working the Q&A tonight, so that if you do have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat, and then Kelly can answer those for you as we go through the presentation. A little bit about Texas State University. We are primarily based in San Marcos, so you'll see a map right there of Texas, and then where San Marcos is located. We're about 30 miles south of Austin and about 50 miles north of San Antonio. So our students do have access to both of those major cities, both of them having international airports for students who need to travel in and out of the area. We are actually the largest school here presenting tonight of about 38,000 students, but it creates a really cool balance because San Marcos itself is a fairly small town. There are only 60,000 permanent residents in San Marcos, so it does create that good balance between the large campus with a whole lot of different opportunities with the small, slower feel to the laid-back town. A little bit about our students can be found here. We do have students from all 50 states and 74 different countries from around the world, and are also in a minority majority campus. So about 55% of our students identify as coming from ethnic minority backgrounds, and we've also been recognized as a Hispanic serving institution for over 10 years now. About 46% of our students are first generation students, and one of the things that I'm proudest of about Texas State is the support that we do give to those first generation students and all of our freshman students at Texas State. That final figure down there at the bottom showing that 80% of our students are after graduation are working or continuing their education in Texas 1 year after graduating. So a majority of our students do come to Texas, fall in love with everything that we are, and then stick around either pursuing a master's or a doctoral program or working in their job field. We do have close to 100 different majors for students to choose from. We've got them broken up into 8 different areas of study here. As I wrap up, there will be a QR code at the end that you can scan with the link to get to all of our majors. As I said, we do have close to 100, so you can find some highly recognized programs there, and a lot of times something for every interest. As I led off with, we are a pretty big place. We do have close to 400 different student organizations that your students can choose from. So these can include traditional Greek life, professional clubs, special interest groups, community service opportunities. We have 16 different NCAA Division I athletic teams. We are in the Sun Belt Conference, which sweeps through the South and Southeast part of the US. We do also have 35 different club sports that students can choose from, in addition to dozens of intramurals, esports, and then different tournaments that go on throughout campus. As a university, the steps to be admitted are going to be listed here. You will see that we are on both Apply Texas and the Coalition for College application, so we will need that application as your first step. We'll also need your high school transcript and then a $75 application fee or fee waiver, which is going to be based off of family income. This year for seniors, we are test optional. We're not requiring the SAT or the ACT. So students in the top 75% of their graduating class will be holistically reviewed, even if they don't send in SAT or ACT scores. Those test scores are optional, so if you would like to send them, you're more than welcome to. And the essay is the same way. That is our chance to hear your voice as a student. So we do recommend submitting an essay, but it is optional. If you have taken any dual credit classes as well, we will need a college transcript as you finish those courses. What we're looking for is broken down on this slide right here. Ideally, we're finding students to have 4 English, math, and science courses, 3 social studies, 2 foreign language, and then 1 fine arts and PE credit. We know that each state's requirements for graduation are a little bit different. So any students who don't meet the assured admission recommended curriculum you see listed here will be reviewed holistically. We'll also look for students' class rank and their SAT or ACT scores if they choose to send them. This chart simply shows that the better a student does in their graduating class, the lower the test scores are that we're looking for. We do also have a cost breakdown here for you for both Texas residents and non-residents in those two different columns there. This cost breakdown will include tuition and fees, so the cost of your classes, books and supplies, residence hall and meal plan, and then your personal miscellaneous or travel costs with an annual total down there at the bottom. Texas State does also ascribe to the $1,000 scholarship in-state tuition fee waiver for students who do receive $1,000 or more in competitive or merit scholarships to Texas State. You're eligible to pay in-state tuition rates. The right side of this slide will remind you to be sure and fill out the FAFSA to qualify for need-based financial aid, as well as a little bit of information about our scholarships down there at the bottom. The competitive scholarships are through the Bobcat online scholarship system and do have a deadline of December 15th. We are open for campus tours right now, so we would love to see you on campus. Those tours take place Monday through Friday, 4 times a day, Monday through Thursday, and then 5 times a day on Friday. We also have our Bobcat days, which are our large group open house style events that take place on Saturdays, with our next one coming up on November 20th. We do also have virtual tours that you can access at that same link right there. As I wrap up, I do want to give you just a few seconds to scan that QR code. You'll be able to connect with your admission counselor there, find out information about the application, as well as the visit information too. Again, if you do have any questions, please feel free to put those in the Q&A, and Kelly and I will be happy to answer them for you. Have a great night.
Thanks. And last but not least, we have Rice University.
Hey all, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm excited to spend the next 6 minutes with you sharing just a little bit more about Rice. My name is Kathleen Anthony. I am an admission counselor here at Rice and a 2018 graduate. And we're going to talk about just a few different things today. We'll talk about academics and research, our residential college system, the city of Houston, touch on financial aid and affordability, and finish up with outcomes. So Rice University is made up of 7 undergraduate schools, and those are architecture, business, engineering, humanities, music, natural sciences, and social sciences. And our students are able to have up to 3 majors between them. So when you apply to Rice, you name one school of study that interests you the most on your application, but you're not necessarily applying for admission to that school of study. We really just want to know a little bit more about what it is that you're interested in academically. We also offer pre-professional advising tracks, and those can be paired with almost any major. So if you're interested in going on to medical school, law school, business school, or pursuing a secondary teaching certificate, you can pursue that alongside your major. We have an impressive 6-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our median class size is around 14 students. And Rice has something called flexible distribution requirements. And those are a happy medium between no requirements at all and a core curriculum. So they ensure that you can dive into your major in your very first year. You take 3 courses in the humanities, 3 in the social sciences, 3 in the natural or applied sciences, and 1 writing and communications course. But what you take and when you take them is entirely up to you. So it gives you both breadth and depth to your education while allowing you to take classes that you're actually interested in. Rice is a top-tier research university, which means that we are constantly producing new knowledge. We have over 45 research centers and institutes on our campus alone, where students can get involved with hands-on learning in any area of academic study from their very first year. More than half of our students will participate in research before they graduate. And I always love to encourage students, if you're interested in research and you want to know what Rice is doing on our campus right now, you can always check out the faculty websites. They're very detailed to see if maybe there's a lab on campus that's interesting to you. Now, of course, your academics are important. Of course, your research is important, but we also want to make sure that you're enjoying the time that you spend on our campus. And of course, coming to Texas from Arizona might be a big move for you. And so the Princeton Review ranks Rice as #1 for best quality of life. And our residential college system truly is at the core of the student life experience here. So we have 11 residential colleges, and our students are randomly assigned to one the summer before their first year at Rice. They'll be a member of your college for your entire time at Rice, and they create truly diverse communities. Each one is a microcosm of Rice. They're all run largely by the students. They have their own budgets, they have their own student governments, And your college is also the source of social events, anything from parties to intramural sports, but they also offer academic enrichment through lectures and special courses that are designed and taught by fellow students. Each of our colleges also has a team of diversity facilitators who are dedicated to promoting campus unity as well as respect for diversity. And we have faculty and staff members who serve as college magistrates and as resident associates who guide your personal and your intellectual development. Your residential college truly is that family away from your family, your home away from home here on our campus. Of course, there's other ways for you to build community and get involved here at Rice. We're home to over 280 student clubs and organizations, and they cover just about anything you can think of, from academic to performing and visual arts to pre-professional to athletic to cultural to volunteer. You can think of it, we probably have something very similar to the club that you're interested in on our campus. Our Office of Study Abroad has 150 programs in over 60 countries on all 7 continents. Yes, all 7, that does include Antarctica. And our students and staff work together to ensure that their time spent abroad is tailored to what they would like to experience while studying internationally. Of course, that's on hold for now, but we're so excited for when we're able to send our students back out into the world again. Finally, Rice competes in NCAA Division I athletics. We're part of Conference USA and we have 14 varsity teams. Our students receive free admission to all of the home games. And if you yourself are an athlete, but maybe not at the D1 level, we have quite a few club and intramural sports for you to get involved with. Additionally, we have many offices on our campus that are dedicated to supporting student development. So those include our Office of Academic Advising, who will meet with you from day one to make sure you're on track. Our Office of Multicultural Affairs, Student Success Initiatives, as well as our Wellbeing and Counseling Centers. Rice is located just a couple of miles from downtown Houston, which is the 4th largest and the most diverse city in the country. We're home to over 200 cultural, performing, and visual arts organizations and the 2nd largest theater district in the United States. Many of you are interested in outer space. Houston is also home to NASA's Johnson Space Center. Rice actually donated the land on which it sits, and JFK delivered his moonshot speech at Rice back in 1962. For those of you who might be interested in healthcare in its many forms, the Texas Medical Center is the world's largest medical center with 59 institutions, including 21 hospitals and 3 medical schools. It's the 8th largest business district in the country. It's the largest employer in the state of Texas, and it is quite literally across the street from our campus. It's something that our students regularly take advantage of, whether for research purposes or internships or shadowing opportunities. Maybe they want to do some volunteering or they just need to go see a doctor. The TMC is an awesome opportunity for you. Here at Rice, we believe that talent deserves opportunity, which is why we rolled out the Rice Investment a few years ago. And this is an initiative that will make Rice the best choice for more low and middle income families across the country. Essentially, the way that it works is that we have these different income buckets. If your family income falls into one of those buckets, you'll receive the associated grant. And if you qualify for the Rice Investment, you're no longer required to take out loans as part of your need-based aid package. And I know I need to wrap up, so very quickly, we'll just talk about where Rice students are going after they graduate. Year after year, we're named a Best Value and Best Investment in Higher Education. And through our Center for Career Development, students receive excellent preparation for their futures. Just a snapshot of where they might be going. But thank you so much. I appreciate y'all taking the time to hear a little bit more about Rice.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. And it looks like we do have a little bit of extra time. So if you could all throw your cameras back on and answer in the same way that you presented, starting with what advice would you give someone going through the college process?
Hey, so what I would say to this is the number one kind of like decision factor, and my biggest advice is book a tour. I think that can really help you kind of distinguish between each of the universities printed here today and all the ones that you might be interested in. So book a tour, and you really get to see the campus for everything that you might be interested in it for. So that's my advice.
All right, for me, as someone that graduated last December, someone fairly new to just the full-time world, I would say just shoot your shot. With any school you're going to be interested in applying to, go for it. Never feel like there are like limitations behind where you should apply. You shouldn't be worried about cost, where it's going to be. It's just really going to be making sure that you're making the best decision for you, and you'll never know until you try. So don't with the what ifs.
I always say it's important to keep an open mind, but it's also important to learn how to say no. We know that you are going to be absolutely bombarded with so many different emails and phone calls and things in the mail from different schools. And so have a sense for what you think that you want. And so if you know that you want to remain rather close to home and a school in New York State sends you something, it's okay to contact them and say, you know what, remove me from your list. I'm no longer interested. And it'll help them focus their energies a little bit more, as well as help you focus your energies on the schools that are going to be a really good fit for you. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, my biggest advice is stay connected with your admission counselors. We are here to help you. It is our job to be your connection to the universities that you're interested in. So please don't hesitate to ask questions. We are not as scary or intimidating as we may seem. We are genuinely here and happy to help.
I would absolutely say that my biggest piece of advice is to do your research. You're about to make a really big decision about where you're going to spend the next 4 years of your life, and you want that to be a good fit for you all around. So academically, personally, financially. So it's important throughout this process to look into the different schools that you're interested in to see which one could be the best fit for you as you're applying to universities.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. And for my personal favorite question, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
For UT Tyler, I would say kind of our small class size personal focus on academics. It was something that was super impactful to me personally. Like I said, I was a student at UT Tyler. I literally used professors as references. I spent hours upon hours in their office getting to know them on a personal level. I am friends with some of their kids now. So it really is just super, super impactful to get to know your professor on another level. And also, like, I got better grades because of it. So that's what I would say is just kind of one thing to remember about UT Tyler.
For St. Edward's, I would love for students to just know that we are such a diverse community. And again, like I said earlier, although we do promote ourselves as a Catholic university, you can really be whoever you want to be. Like personally speaking, just being real, like I don't follow that religious practice, but I felt just as welcome to be there. So just know that there's no such thing as you have to be a specific person to go to St. Edward's. You can really just truly walk here, be free, and be the person that you want to be going in college.
So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give the answer the marketing department wants me to say, and then I'm going to give my own. So the marketing department will obviously want us to talk about our number 3rd in the country career placement office ranking. But for me, I say that we really focus on helping train your mind how to think, how to make meaningful connections between your classes and life experiences so that you're in a position to be able to adapt and collaborate and really solve the complex problems that face the world today. And that's really what we center our curriculum around.
Yeah, I'd like for students to keep in mind what I call the perfect trifecta of location that Texas State is. We are, like I said in my presentation, a large campus with a whole lot of opportunities for every student in a smaller, laid back, slower feel of a town. But you do have access to both of the big cities of Austin and San Antonio right there in your backyard. What I didn't mention in the presentation is we do also have the San Marcos River that flows right through the middle of our campus. So that's not a bad benefit too.
For Rice, I would definitely say the access to research is something that I would encourage our students to remember. It's available to 100% of students from the very first moment that you step on campus. And we have more research opportunities than we have students who are taking them. So if that's your jam, if that's what you're interested in, Rice is going to be a great place for you. But also being located in the city of Houston, if there's something outside of our campus, research opportunities or internships, we help you find those opportunities to help you succeed outside of the classroom as well.
Thank you. And last but not least, what is one myth you'd like to debunk about the college admissions process?
I would say that's a hard question. Probably that it's super difficult. I think a lot of people are like really intimidated. I know I was a first generation college student, and I was terrified when I first started kind of looking for schools. I I kind of like hark back to what someone else said earlier is all of us like admissions counselors at every school you're interested in are here for you. So don't be afraid to kind of like reach out. Don't let it be a scary kind of thing for you.
For me, I guess I'll tie it back a little from like the beginning. Something that a lot of students that I've talked to really worry about the cost of going to St. Edward's just because we are a private institution. And I'd say I want students to know that we have a financial aid team that wants to work with you. And I know this is going to be for any college that you're interested in applying to. There are a lot of resources, and we want to make sure that you have the resources to be able to attend our university. So please don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to even ask for more help. I know for St. Edward's in particular, we send out financial aid packages, but we're more than happy to give you more assistance if you need it. We just want you to, feel comfortable in asking for more help if you need it.
I would say there's a lot of misconception about the term liberal arts and what it means. A lot of people think it means that you have to be of a liberal political persuasion and you want to study something in the fine arts. And that's definitely not the case as well. No matter where you are in the political spectrum, or if you're not a political person at all, you're going to find your home at a liberal arts school. And also liberal arts is short for liberal arts and sciences. It's not about what you study, it's how you're studying it, that you're not studying in isolation, but really in combination with other things and really kind of broadening your mind. So when you hear liberal arts and sciences, you'll know what it means.
Yeah, a myth that I wish I could debunk is that students have to go to a specific top-ranked program or top-ranked school in order to be successful. I encourage you to look at the schools that feel right to you, that is the right fit for you. And that's what's truly going to make you successful as a student, rather than necessarily a specific institution because of their ranking or a specific program.
I would definitely go with, there is no perfect applicant. We are not looking for very specific things, and there's no formula for crafting the perfect application to Rice or to any of the other institutions that are represented here. We really want to know who you are, because when we're admitting a student, we're admitting a whole person, not just one aspect. So, share who you are, share the best parts of you, and we're not asking you for that perfect combination of things. It's really what is best for you and what your personal story is.
Perfect. Thank you all so much for your advice. Panelists, students, parents, thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. When you close the window, there's going to be a quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you might have. And a recording of this session will be available at strivescan.com/Greater Arizona. So with that being said, everyone, thank you and have a great rest of your night.